Welcome to the Planet63 Virtual Business Matchmaking Show, the next evolution of discovering Philippine and US-made products and services. This is the show that helps create global sales opportunities and bring Philippine and US-made products and services go from local to global. Thank you for watching the show, and now please welcome the host of Planet63 from local to global, Ferdinand B. Soriano.
I have three quick questions for everyone that's watching. Are you looking for new products and ideas for your online store? Are you in charge of sourcing, procuring, purchasing products for your company? Or you just love knowing the latest and the greatest products from the US and in the Philippines? Now, if you said yes to all of that, then we have an amazing show for you today. Good evening, everyone in the United States, and magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat sa Pilipinas. Welcome to the Planet63 Virtual Business Matchmaking Show. It is the next evolution of discovering Philippine and US-made products and services. The name of the show is Planet63's From Local to Global. And I just want to thank all and everyone who's been watching the show and encouraging the show. We really appreciate the support. Now, our goal for this show is to showcase and educate our audience on sourcing, shipping, and selling Philippine and US-made products, and also obviously to create sales opportunities for our guest presenters. My name is Ferdinand Soriano, and I am from Planet63. We are an export marketing and logistics management company. We are calling today's episode Water and Calamansi. I don't know, to me, every time I say that now, I'm thinking that's Calamansi aid right there. Now, if you stick around, you'll find out why we're calling it Water and Calamansi. Now, both of our guest presenters today will take about 5 to 7 minutes to talk about their products. One is looking to enter the Philippine market, and the other is looking to enter the U.S. market. Now, each of these presenters will be looking for tips and suggestions on how to enter these target markets. That's where the industry panel experts and you as the audience come in, because we definitely would love your feedback as they finish their presenting. So, with that being said, our first guest is based in the U.S. Their company is based in Virginia, USA, and is in the business of manufacturing award-winning functional fountain faucets. They're ready to go global and have their sights on the Philippines. Let's meet them and the co-host of our show after a quick product alert break from AP USA. Welcome back. Today, you'll be seeing live product demonstrations, live consultations from industry trade professionals from legal, logistics, and marketing, and how to enter the Philippine and U.S. markets. See the latest news on international trade between the Philippines and United States. You'll also be able to see live interactions from global viewers of the show, and hopefully a business match with a distributor, wholesaler, or online retailer. Now, this show is too much for just one host, trust me. We invited one of the most respected and successful entrepreneurs and business coaches in the Philippines. That's based in the Philippines, I should say. He's live from the Philippines now. Please welcome the Philippine franchise guru himself, Mr. Boots Bartolome.
Hey, good morning, good evening to the world, and good morning to the Asia and Philippines. Magandang umaga, bayan. And thank you very much, Ferdy. How are you today?
I am actually fantastic with everything going on. I'm very upbeat today, and I just think we're going to have a really great show. There's a lot of energy that we were having backstage already, so I can't wait for our next guest, to come on. And he's already talked to you, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and as you said, we're talking about water and calamansi. Water is life. Calamansi is vitamin C. But I'm so excited because I gave him the coin word. I gave him a gift, innopreneur, right? Innopreneur, innovative and an entrepreneur. So let's roll in the video because I just want him to show what he has to offer. Let's roll it.
Hi, we're Vic and Lisa, and we bought his and her Sony faucets because we each wanted one. We each have a certain reason that we like to use it. I especially like to use it for taking my pills at night. I don't have to have a bottle of water. I don't have to worry about bending down, getting my hair wet in the sink when I'm bending over.
I like to use the Sony faucet in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth. I just get done. I rinse, and it's easy. 1, 2, 3. I love it. I enjoy it, and like I said, we like it so much. We have 2 of them, one for her and one for me.
Okay, it's Sunday night, and I'm getting ready to wash my face with my Sony faucet. I want to show everybody how I do that every single night. To rinse my face, and I can get it wet before I even put the cleanser on. And a little bit with a washcloth, and then I can rinse it so easily.
You turn this on and then put it up. That's how you make the thing go.
Been in atomic plumbing for 41 years. Been in the plumbing business for 41 years. Service plumber that sells and installs faucets, and this faucet is one that I put in my own home. I'm extremely happy with it. Use it for brushing my teeth all the time. Wife uses it for filling up filling up containers and watering plants and stuff like that. Faucet is extremely well built. It's a very high-end faucet, top quality. We have the chrome faucet at home. This is the polished nickel faucet, which has got a very nice finish on it. And again, it's a very good-looking faucet. Something that you'd probably like to have in your own home.
Well, there you are, the Nazoni. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce my team, the Philippine panel. I'd like to introduce, of course, ladies first. I'd like to introduce the mother of marketing, especially exchange deal. Let's call in Susie at Chacoso Cruz. Susie, how are you today?
Well, happy morning, Philippines. Happy evening, USA. Oh, very promising. I just had my second shot last week.
Exciting, right?
Go, go,
Exciting.
go.
Yeah, exciting. Water is life, as they say. But before we go into your probing and suggesting marketing techniques for our guest, let's call in the man behind the acquired properties and the intellectual property legal eagle. Of course, he's an eagle because he's AMDG. Let's call in Ferdy Negre, attorney Ferdy Negre. Oh, attorney, how are you? I think somebody muted.
Oh,
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me here again. Thank you, Boots. Again, good morning, everyone.
That's good. So we are getting this kind of faucet beyond any expectation. And I think your legal mind will be challenged here, Ferdy. But before we bring that, let's bring in the logistics guy, the guy who can bring in the products. You can market it, you can register it, but shipping it over to the Philippines, let's call in Danny Teofisto of DCT. How are you, Danny?
Hello, good morning, Philippines, and good evening, USA. Thank you, Sir Boots, for having me here again. And hello, Mama Susie and Sir Ferdy. Good morning to all of you.
Okay, so team, are you ready to face and meet this? He looks like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And he lives in Virginia, which I know Virginia is for lovers. And that's why we love the faucet called Sony. Okay, let's call in Steve. Steve, come in. Oh, Steve, you're hi. How are you, Steve?
Hello to all my friends. Good morning to the Philippines. It's an honor to be here with all of you.
That's right. So tell us more about that. You know, when I was watching that video, my mind was already working, turning around, up and down. And tell us more about this, about your product.
So my background is 27 years building nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and submarines, and I've got the expertise. But, I was tired of craning my neck to rinse after I brush or to get a drink of water. My wife was cupping her hands, splashing her face, and I said, there's got to be a better way. And I happened to run across the Nasoni in Rome, the old fountains on the streets of Rome, which I showed you guys the video of. We have a copy of it available to show. But that idea from 1872, I'm like, why hasn't anybody put that in the bathroom? Right? And so we decided we'll take the innovation and we'll make it work in the bathroom and control it. So the way it works, basically, this is one of our faucets. This is our center set version. And the way it works is there's a basic lever right here at the top. When you rotate that little lever, it cuts off the downward flow and it sends it out the top. Now, what happens is the normal flow rate of a faucet is 2.2 gallons in the US downward. A water sense economical faucet is 1.5. And then a water saving faucet in California is 1.2 gallons per minute. But when I send it out the top, it's only 0.26. So it's up to 88% less when you send it out the top. So you're saving water without even trying. That's why we like to say this is the future of faucets.
Wow, really? I cannot, I always say, yes, you're innovative because you found something out of a need, right? I mean, that's something else. In business, one thing I realized, when there is a need, there's an opportunity, okay? And from building aircraft carrier down to the faucet, my gosh. So I like to tackle now the marketing, the mother of marketing here in the Philippines. Susie, what do you think of Nasoni?
Oh, Nasoni by itself. I mean to say, what more would I ask for? Award-winning, a product out of one's heart and one's need, inspired by the product inspired by the needs of people. And when I saw it, I was reviewing it, and I said, I looked into your site. I saw also the price point. I was just wondering if it's going to be brought here in the Philippines. It would be at par, because I know if it is made in USA, the cost would be cheaper. But I really don't know how it's going to be when you bring it to the Philippines.
So that's a great point. If I might add, these faucets, and we would target price points differently in different locations, of course. But this, of course, is more of our higher end model, right? We also have, this is our most expensive here.
Because it's brass.
But we are coming out with this cost-effective version, single lever, which will be less than half those. Because it uses less material, it's cheaper to produce. Now, I'll show you what else is really innovative. Do the faucets in the Philippines have a stopper in the back to close it off? Do you have a pull rod in the back?
Yes, we do.
Boot says yes. Okay, so we are coming out with a new stopper pipe drain, and you no longer have that. What you do, you push this down to close it, and then you just pop it up, and it has a basket. No more stopper.
Wow. Wow.
See the basket?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Another thing that I'd like to ask is that when I was reviewing the product, if I'm not mistaken, it's also a purifier in one. Am I right?
We have, no, not in one. We have an optional under sink.
Okay.
This goes in the vanity underneath the sink in the cold water line. So now you can have clean filtered water to drink and to rinse. No more chlorine, no lead, stuff like that.
Okay. So because I was just thinking of how to really package of how to market it, because number one, you have a very good brand. It's Nasoni from a handsome Nasoni creator. How do you call him, Kuya Butch? Innopreneur. No,
innopreneur. He's an innopreneur. He'll use that hashtag now.
That's fine. You have a story behind it, which is very nice, because when you talk of a brand, it's not the brand is very important, but you have to have a story, and I'm happy there's a story behind it.
So if I may, I'd like to share with you my story. My story is I spent 25 years building those carriers and subs. I spent the next 11 helping grow my wife's company. But as I looked towards retirement at some point in the future, I thought, is that really the legacy I want to leave? And I thought, no, I'd like to develop a product to make people's lives better and disrupt the mature market in the process. And at the same time, it would save water to benefit the planet and be a good role model along the way for my sons and other entrepreneurs.
Right.
That's
But you know, Steve, let me acknowledge John G. He said, what a great product. And I will always say 1000% I agree, John G, about that, you know, because this guy is not only building, he has probably retired from building aircraft carrier. Now he's now carrying water carriers into the houses, okay, and acknowledging and adapting to the Philippine market with that kind of product. But again, Susie, let me hear from Attorney Negre from the intellectual property about this innopreneur. Attorney Negre, what do you say? How can we help this innopreneur, the aircraft carrier builder?
Thanks.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, hi Steve, hi Boots, and hi Susie. Good morning once again. And let me just echo those words. What a great product.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is. And I can see the innovator in you, the inventor in you. As they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Is
That's
that
right.
And you said you're craning your neck and those necessities. And the name, you know, necessity Nasoni. Whoa. They rhyme, right?
That's right.
So speaking of those two, the invention and the name, perhaps what I can share with you, Steve, is if you think of invention and you want to go to business, please think of patents as well.
So we are patented in the US and we're pending in the UK and we're patented in China and we're pending in India as well. Are the Philippines patent systems based on the same principles?
It's based on the same principles, but again, let me mention territoriality, meaning you have to come to the Philippines, get your patent in the Philippines to get protected in the Philippines.
Okay.
We did a quick search. I saw that you filed a patent cooperation treaty application.
PCT. A PCT.
Exactly. And that's in the US. And then you have to pick the countries you want to go to get protection.
Correct.
Unfortunately, I think Philippines is not yet designated. We call it a designated country. So you need to come to the Philippines and register that. And there are requirements. And you mentioned principles. They're the same in most countries. Of course, the application may be different, but the same principles.
And how about copyrights and things like that? The trade names.
Let me go to the trade names later. Just for now, you also showed us improvements, right? You showed us the stopper with the basket. Those are improvements, and you can get protection over those improvements.
Wonderful.
So Steve, it's exclusivity that you want if you want to go to a market. And patents will give you that exclusivity. You have to file the application. The government will not give it to you if you don't ask for it.
Sure.
Put it that way.
Right. So are you my go-to guy?
I'm here. I can help you.
All right.
The next one,
Steve.
The next one is Nasoni. The name, the brand, we call it the trademark. It's the same principle. You have to go in each country to have your trademark registered.
Okay.
And it's the same principle. First, to line up with the intellectual property office, you get the rights.
Okay.
So you have to beat everybody. First to file system.
Got it.
So please, and there are two things that you may want to cover. Number one is the N logo, that one on your shirt with that drop. Beautiful.
Nope.
There you go. And the other one is the word mark, Nasoni. So there are two separate rights that you can acquire. And now, not just the Philippines, again, Steve, you may want to look into the markets you want to get into and register your brands or your trademarks in those countries.
Wonderful.
Generally, it's the same principle. First to file system. So bid it. Bid them, Steve.
Well,
On to you. Thank you. Yes, Boots.
with Steve, he's a ballistic guy. He will not waste a second. I tell you. And knowing that he'll even if he has to carry a commander, an aircraft carrier to be in the Philippines right away, he will do that. But let me acknowledge also the Global Filipinas TV 168. How are you guys over there? There you are now. We are now being watched over there. Thank you very much, Global Filipinas TV 168. And also, let us now, talking about shipping, let us now talk about, find out from the shipping expert, the logistics. Let's call in Danny. What do you have to say about this product now?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Steve.
Hello,
I
Danny.
find
How
you,
are you, sir?
yeah, I find your product very interesting, and hopefully you can market here in the Philippines. And we are here to assist you if you have already the market in the Philippines, and hope the price is competitive because right now we have a lot of competitors from China, but U.S. products are very high quality, so we need that product here in the Philippines.
When you see faucets like this around here in the U.S. from with other manufacturers, they're not the same quality. This is our faucet with no finish. It is solid brass and it weighs 6.5 pounds. It's built to last a lifetime.
That's fine because we want in our houses to have that kind of product that will last for a lifetime, if possible.
Wonderful.
So, Danny, what about shipping it? Can it start with doing like a pallet to start with?
Well, as for a start, it's okay to ship on a small items by pallets. It is a little bit expensive, but as you go along, maybe when you ship out big volume, you can have a cheaper cost. Because right now, maybe shipping LCL, one pallet, maybe it costs you something like $600. But when you ship a little bit bigger, it will double the savings because it may only have the price.
Are
So,
there any import tariffs coming into the Philippines?
yeah.
There are? What kind of tariffs exist, if any?
Tariff.
Well, what
Sorry.
Tariff.
When you bring a product into the Philippines, do you have to pay a tariff?
The tariff,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
about the
Tariff,
tariff.
tariff.
we have to pay duties and taxes. Aside from this shipping cost, then we have to pay the tax and duties that will be assessed based on the declaration that it will be coming out from your invoice. Then I think for the starter, it will be a little bit higher because of the shipping cost. But then once you go big volume, it will be cheaper because we have a lot of products like that of yours that are coming here in the Philippines because we need more products like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, but Danny, I think what probably Steve is looking at is, wetting the market, getting influencers. At the same time, with that one pallet, I don't think it will last a week. And he will have to ship again containers and containers for you. But the question there that Danny, on also Ferdy, there are copycats. Have you? How do we handle copycats, Attorney Negre?
Boots, yes, that's very true. And that's why I mentioned patents for the technology. And then also trademarks for the brand. So if you have registered trademark, they should not be able to do that. Or you should be able to prevent them, to prohibit them.
What are the costs? What are the average costs of a trademark in the Philippines?
Steve, it's peanuts. You guys, yes.
They
yes.
could have
It's so
faucet.
cheap. You're looking at trademark registration. You're looking at $1,200 tops.
Okay.
That's only one faucet for Steve,
That's a lot more. That's actually more than the U.S., just so you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, right. Okay. Anyway, well, we're getting a lot of feedbacks. We're getting excited about this, but I think Steve, um, any last word that you'd like to encourage the market to look at your
Well,
faucet before we turn over?
I would like to just say that this is the future of faucets, right? Because it saves water, it makes life easier for the user, and so it benefits the planet all simultaneously. So we are going to be disrupting the market. We'd love to have you guys be a part of it as well. And if anybody wants to learn more, you can reach me at steve@nasoni.com. Pretty easy. Our website, by the way, is just www.nasoni.com. NASONI.com.
Okay. So remember www.nasoni.com. And let's bring in my co-host also, Ferdinand Soriano. I'm sure you want to
Yeah,
talk.
I was just excited to talk. I wanted to get into that discussion. Honestly, when I first met Steve, was that he was in an SBA seminar here in the U.S. And one of the things that I liked about it is that it's not just the beauty of the product, but also the functionality. Because every time I think of what he was trying to say, what resonated in my mind was that it saves water, and obviously there's a lot of development going on in the Philippines. I convinced him to maybe consider that. And then, water is always good, even though technically it's a tropical island, right? But still, that's something that every building that goes up, you want to be able to still save water. And that's one of the things that stuck to my head in his potential in the market because of the various development. And then one thing I wanted to tell you, Boots, is that when I was looking at researching it, the thing that excites me about his product is that the global plumbing fixtures, according to the market size, the value of this thing, it's about 87.7 billion in 2017. And then,
Wow.
the reason for that's why when I look at those numbers that way, and then I sort of isolate it with, in the particular country, there's a lot of opportunity because everybody's all about trying to be efficient. And if you see, there's no hands involved. I mean, there's hands, but washing your face like that is just very functional. And then I think there's going to be a lot more based on what I've observed, a lot more uses of that because of the developments going on in the Philippines.
But one thing I love is that there is a filter part of it. There's an added feature for filtration.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people would not want to, they want to have some filtered water while they wash their face. But that's an option. And that I think what Steve did is actually looking at all sides, saving water at the same time and being innovative. He's really, I would say, he disrupted the market.
Yeah.
And amazing. This aircraft carrier builder, wow. It's awesome.
I think if he can change the mindset of some developers, I think he's going to do well, and he's already doing well back east in the United States because a lot of the developers are looking into his product. So I'm hoping that we can convince him, or rather, he can see the potential also in the Philippines. As you can see, he is on a global movement, and I want Philippines to also consider that for him. So anyway, with that being said. I can't wait technically for the presenter from the Philippines now. So we had the U.S. presenter. He had his turn and he was able to present the products that could actually go to the Philippine market. Now, I'd like to get to see the next presenter's product, and we'll do that after we take this product alert break from a company called shopsarisari.com.
Ever wonder how to export and sell products in the USA? Ever wonder how to export and sell products globally? You're lucky you found us, because we've got exactly what you need. Introducing shopsarisari.com. What is that? Shop Sari Sari is the leading marketplace for Filipino exporters. We sell globally to consumers and major retailers. We're a one-stop shop in importing your product and getting FDA approved. Check this out. Sell with the major brands. Registration is free. Sell in the mainstream channels. We sell your favorite Filipino brands. What do our customers think? Mark Araulio says, thank you for assisting me in getting my FDA approval in the United States. Anna Vergara from Arkansas, USA says, I am thankful ShopSariSari.com was created. And from Paris, France, I can't believe I got Filipino products delivered straight to my doorstep. What are you waiting for? Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or email us if you have any questions. Visit www.shopsarisari.com. For suppliers, sign up for free at www.shopsarisari.com/supplier.
Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. We appreciate you staying tuned. You're watching Planet 63's From Local to Global. And again, thank you so much for staying tuned. Now, having trusted and knowledgeable experts to help in the navigation of a market is always welcome. We just happen to have these amazing experts in the logistics, in the marketing, and also in the legal department. Now, all these people are here on the show, and we want to go ahead and introduce them. Let me go ahead and start off with the marketing expert of our panel in our panel. She is a business valuation expert, a business strategist, a mediator, and entrepreneur. She co-founded a company called My Jeepney Stop, which is an online directory with currently a little bit over 3,000 listings and climbing. Okay. She's also the co-founder of Sparkvation Consulting, co-founder of Philippine Trade Investment and Promotion Network. She attended the Pennsylvania State University. Please welcome the founder of My Jeepney Stop, Christina Espiritu. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Ferdinand. How are you?
I'm great. I'm just glad that all of our experts are here, chiming in. I mean, I just love that last exchange from the U.S. presenter. But obviously, Steve is a little bit very much of a character, and I love having him on the show. And I'm sure all our audience enjoyed that too. But please tell us a little bit about you as well as My Jeepney Stop, Christina.
Sure. As you mentioned, My Jeepney Stop is an online directory with over 3,000 listings of Filipino entrepreneurs and businesses. But we also have a specialty in target marketing. So we work with companies here as well as companies overseas and bringing their products here. So that's why, I'm very excited to learn about all this business owners, especially Alan, because I've tried his product and I love it. So I'm very interested to learn more about it today. So.
Well, you get to do that today. There's a lot of things that the show is doing, and one of them is really trying to empower and educate all of them. And hopefully, by you watching, talking a little bit about Alan's product, you're going to be able to give him some feedback on how he can expand his market in the U.S., which has already started. Now, what I want to do is I want to introduce the legal expert of our panel. I want to go ahead and properly introduce her. I want to make sure I get this right. Now, she is a U.S. lawyer who's also licensed to practice law in the Philippines. She has over 10 years of experience working with small to medium-sized company focused on minimizing legal risk when doing business in the United States while acting as a business strategic advisor. She attended Ateneo de Manila University and the University of the Philippines. Please welcome Attorney Yudel Pinacho de Loso. Oh, yeah. De Loso Pinacho.
Hello.
I always get that mixed up. These hyphens always screw me up, Yudel.
That's okay, as long as you get my first name.
Yeah, I know, right? So, Yudel, tell us a little bit about you and your experience, and then just give us a feedback on your company.
Well, first of all, it's nice to see you again here, Ferdinand and Christina. So it's a pleasure always. So I'm the founder of the Loso Pinacho Law. We are U.S.-based business and estates firm, and we specialized in strategic planning for businesses, international and domestic. We help them set up, create their legal and insurance and financial tax, the 4 pillars of business foundation, and to position them for success and growth, and help them with also with wealth preservation and asset protection.
Well, what you do, I mean, I've already seen you in action. You've already spoken to some of the guests in the past, sort of consulted, and they were glad to have just take some of your knowledge and try to give them an idea how to be here. I mean, a lot of the things that people do going and trying to expand their market into the U.S., they always just think about the marketing part, which is fine. But obviously, there's a lot to be thought of when it comes to trying to even set up a company here or just to be here legally, right? I mean, just give us a little bit on that, Udell.
Well, we are, I'm in a unique position to help counsel as a trusted advisor for businesses who's trying to get in here as a bridge. Because many times we bring in what our knowledge and what's our norms us and our custom and our culture to a different country. You need somebody who can guide you and at least counsel you, educate you, and empower you, and putting your first step here in the United States. The first part there is actually creating your legal foundation. There goes the entity formation and your legal standing. That starts.
Well, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, we did an interview on you recently, and that's we could take a whole hour just trying to discuss the legal aspect, at least an hour, discuss the legal aspect of it. So now let me go ahead and I appreciate you being here, Udell. So now let me go ahead and call on the logistics expert of our show. Let me give you a proper introduction. He is a regional director of U.S. West and Southwest and Mexico. His purpose is really general manager for that area for air and ocean freight forwarding, customs brokerage, logistics and distribution, and it's all across 6 nations. He's into developing business in Taiwan, Central China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Trans-Pacific eastbound supply chains into the U.S. and West Coast. He is also he's worked with numerous Fortune 500 companies like Asia and America's Apple, The Gap, Samsung, Intel, Skyworks, ST, Microelectronics. It's a lot. So I'll let him tell you about his story, but I'm just glad he was able to make it to our show today, and I appreciate his time. So let me go ahead and welcome Eduardo Vargas from Morrison Express.
Hi, Ferdinand. How are you?
Eduardo, I'm just glad you made it, my friend. You had a little bit of a challenge there, huh?
Yeah, I was in a rush. But yeah, thank you for having me on the show. My name is Eduardo Vargas. We support Ferdinand companies to ship their products. So usually for import exports, a lot of cumbersome paperwork on the customs, not only U.S., but if you, for instance, ship into the Philippines from U.S., then you have Philippines set up as well. And multiple steps, especially for air freight and ocean freight. Lately, the market's been a little bit crazy. I mean, less capacity, no passenger flights, so it's higher the price. Ocean freight, you probably have heard a lot of volume. People are buying stuff. They don't stop shopping. I guess people like shopping, especially in the US. So a lot of challenges, but yeah, we're here to help. That's our forte. So generally we help retail companies. Also, we do e-commerce. We have multiple warehouses in the U.S. and in other countries. So yeah, thank you for having me in your show, Ferdinand.
Eduardo, it's always a pleasure, my friend, because obviously what all of you bring to the table is a lot of education and empowerment. Even though there may be challenges going on globally, obviously all of these things can be minimized or mitigated or minimized by working with experts like you. You'll always have challenges, let's face that, okay? So the bottom line is that you guys are all here and providing a great value to the people that are watching, especially if they want to go into the Philippine and US market. Now, our next guest presenter, okay, his company manufactures a premium brand called Saint C. They are based in the Philippines. They specialize in creating innovative, healthy, and tasty food condiments that truly enhance and livens up every dishes. I've tasted this thing. It's amazing. The products are starting to trickle into the U.S., and people tasting it have been so amazed. Phil-Am chefs have tried it and loved it. The company is ready to go global. Now, please welcome the CEO of a product that could be heaven sent. You like that? Heaven sent, Saint C. Alan Toison of Saint C. Hi, Alan.
Hi, good morning, Ferdinand. Good morning. Thank you for the nice introduction.
Oh no, you deserve it, my friend. It's a great product. Now, before we started, you said you wanted to share something, so maybe we can get to that right away. And then while you're doing that, you can tell a bit about the company. So I'll go ahead and turn over the mic, so to speak, to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we started out as a very small. Was we still are a small company, but we started out with one product. This is Calamansi, and this is all natural. It doesn't have any preservatives. What we've done is, unlike the other competitors, we don't put any additives or enhancers, shelf life, lengtheners. We just wanted to keep it as pure as possible. We saw from other countries that other lemon or lime makers, and we got inspiration from them, and we noticed the quality that they put out there in the market, especially in the US market. So we wanted our calamansi to be something of that sort, and maybe to be true to its taste. That's exactly what we did. So it took us a while, 5 years ago when we started conceptualizing it, and about 3 years ago we started marketing it. And right before the pandemic, we were actually starting to already sell locally here in the Philippines. But the plan was to go global. But the initial plan was actually to go to the US first before anything else. And from there, from the calamansi, we came out with another product, which is the cocomansi. It's actually a coconut sap product, which has the same taste profile as soy sauce. So this will be actually an alternative to your soy sauce, a much healthier alternative to soy sauce. So what we did was we had some special blends of cocoa aminos added with our special concoction of calamansi. So this too is actually combinable. You can actually either use the cocomansi first, if you want to try it as a dip or a marinade, or even a topping for some of your food. And then you can even combine it with your calamansi. And then from there, we added, of course, our pure coconut vinegar. So again, just like calamansi, we can also add your cocomansi with the vinegar, and plus, of course, the calamansi as well. So all three are actually combinable. That's the beauty of it. And all of them are natural, by the way. All of them are natural. This is organic. All right, certified. This is the cocoa aminos here is actually certified organic, but as for the calamansi, we're still trying to get certification for this one. And people are just starting to learn about our cocomansi. If I may, Ferdinand, can I share just some quick pictures of? Is it all right?
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Please do that. Go ahead and do that, Alan.
Let me try to. Can you see this one?
Let's see.
No, the PowerPoint.
No, did you hit share? Were you able to hit share?
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
we'll see if Justin is able to bring it up. But if you've already hit share, you should be able to see it already. But if not, then we just kind of sort of move on as far as that's concerned.
Okay. Here, I saw it. Sorry. So just quickly, I won't full screen anymore. So this is the three products that we have: the cocomansi, calamansi, and the coconut vinegar. And here's my little place. Here's a coconut farm in Davao. We were doing some visits. Calamansi farm in Mindoro. And this is some of the farmers that we work with. This is actually one of our government officials from the Department of Agriculture that we did a trip with. This is me doing our trade fairs locally and abroad. Okay, just to promote the product. And so far, this is what's been happening in the last year or so. So people have been actually sharing some of their creations, what they've been doing with our products. So as you can see, you can make adobo pusit. You can use it for steaks. Here you can use it for pancit. You can use it for your morning, the vinegar. You can use it for tuyo with garlic rice. Here you can also use it for baking. This is a sample of the lemon squares. Well, calamansi square, that is. So another version of lemon square. Here's a celebrity that used it for her cooking, Bistek Tagalog. This is a guy from Tatang, from North Hollywood. He used it for his cooking. That's a calamansi juice. Here's another chef. There are two chefs here. Chef JP Anglo, locally based here. He used it for his dim sum. And Judy Ann Santos used it for her show in YouTube, in her doing her sotanghon dish. And here some people have been using it for their drinks. Since it's pure, it doesn't have any additives. They've been using it for their drinks. Here's a mojito strawberry. Somebody brought it to Boracay, this other drink. And then somebody did some Russian, I think Russian drink. Here it's already starting to go to Vallejo. They were posting it for us. Here's from Maryland, California, somebody from Virginia, again Vallejo, from Newport Beach, the Bay Area also. This is from their kitchen. We didn't do this. They're the ones posting all the pictures and showing it to us. Carson, San Mateo, Walnut Creek, Rizal Kealoa, very known food connoisseur, and she did a palabok sandwich, and then she topped it with calamansi. Fantastic.
Well, you know, I've been watching the progression of the product in Instagram and the social media like Facebook. So, like I was saying in the introduction, Alan, the product, it seems to be creeping in slowly. And I say that gingerly, not because it should be here more. So that's why I'm glad that you're finally back on the show in this format, because now we get to talk a little bit about logistics, marketing, and also legal. Because at the end of the day, I think hands down, I would say 95%, even 99%, I'll go there and gamble. Your product is amazing already. So let's talk about how to bring the products in here. So why don't we get all the expert back in? And we'll start off with logistics first. Obviously, let's go find. I always ask the logistics expert to give us an idea what a pallet would be like, or all of that. I mean, obviously, right now, like Eduardo said, there's some challenges, but we're basically talking about what we're going to deal with when it comes to customs, what we're going to deal with basically in terms of a pallet. What would be the best way to do this? Because I think the product is sensitive to if it's a dry container or a cold container. So, Eduardo?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Alan and Ferdinand, this is a product coming from the US into the Philippines, right? Is that
No,
what you
Philippines to the US.
Oh, Philippines to the US.
I like the fact that you actually thought that it was from the US. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's already amazing. It's already trickling in from the Philippines to the US, Eduardo.
Yeah, so for the Philippines into the US via ocean and air is very challenging right now.
Yes, it is. It is.
A full container is gonna fit 40 pallets of your product, a very large quantity, and that's gonna be probably close to $12,000 right now. I mean the regular, or 10,000 maybe the minimum, but the regular cost will be maybe 3 or 1,000. But right now the prices are skyrocketing as we speak. The air freight pricing, same thing. Like regularly, it's gonna be like $3 per kilo, but right now we're talking at a maybe $10 to $12 per kilo. So it's very expensive. A pallet is 300, maybe close to 300 kilos. Is that right, Alan? Maybe, I mean, more or less, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
We're talking about 3,600, so 3,600 only for the air. And this doesn't include any paperwork or any importation
Insurance,
or any delivery into the US, because your product's not gonna be only until the airport, but you need to ship it somewhere, right, to get to a warehouse or a place for consumption. But that, I mean, on the flip side, there is a lot of offerings right now in websites like Amazon, your own website as well. You can easily connect it to companies like ours or any other who can take it from your order via online and then ship an order directly to your final consumer, right? I'm assuming you might want to have a mix of maybe restaurants and restaurant chains
Yes, that's correct. That's
that can
correct.
maybe buy not a full pallet, but maybe a dozen of
Couple of
cartons per
cases, yeah.
right per month, right? Something like that, maybe a couple cases per week, ideally, depending on the volume, and that's gonna be also sweet spot to have a warehouse to store, right? Because if you're gonna replenish that warehouse, then you're gonna be able to fulfill those orders recurrently, right?
Quicker.
And that's gonna be a combination of business to business and then business to consumer. If
B2C.
somebody
Yeah.
orders one bottle, then they can do so, and they pay FedEx, right? So we can, I mean, any company like ours, we can operate your orders via online. So that's I mean, a combination of Amazon or your own website is gonna trickle down a very good mix for you for sure.
Eduardo,
Yes.
what I wanted to you have the maybe later on after the show to talk to Alan is because at the end of the day, he's probably I've already had this conversation with him where he might want to do things slowly, just like what you were talking about on the last show. Something maybe not so much a whole pallet, maybe even a smaller one than that, because obviously
Oh, yeah.
he's testing out the market. So you might want to give that suggestion later on. But Eduardo, thank you for the feedback. So at least he can get an idea what to expect depending on exactly his plan of attack, so to speak. Okay, thanks for
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
that feedback. All
Thank
right,
you.
so let me
Yes.
let me go ahead and bring up the marketing expert. Okay, the marketing expert of the show. I'd like to go ahead and bring back from my jeepney stop, Christina Espiritu. Christina, tell me what you think of Alan's products in terms. I mean, you sort of kind of know it already because you've seen it on social media too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and I've tasted it many times, courtesy of Ferdinand. So thank you. I've I've had it in cocktails. I've also had it in food and as a dip. So I've actually already had run the gamut on how to use it. But one thing I know, just talking to Alan, was that the differentiator of what his product is, right? And one of the things we talked about is the quality. There are many competitors out there in the market at a price point that may be lower. However, you don't get the same quality as you get with St. C. And also the fact that it's more concentrated. So even if you think that you're paying at a price that's a little bit higher, when you think about it, you're actually not, because you have to use less of it in your, in your ingredient, as an ingredient, right? As for cooking. And so when we talked, we've spoken on some of the marketing strategies that he's been doing, and we definitely think he's on the right track. So the way that we do it, for our clients, is we always do target marketing both on an online and an offline basis, because they have to support each other. So online means the typical social media, and then website, and even email blasts. And so Alan is actually ahead of the game, because he has a lot of influencers that he's already been using. And so if he was our client, one thing I would do is probably strengthen those relationships with those influencers and really pick the ones that would make a difference, because giving out products out there still takes a lot of money, right? You have to pay for the samples. So you really have to find the influencers that really fit your products and your brand. And then also the influencers that will give you the numbers and the sales, because anyone can be an influencer, but whether they can translate it into sales is a different story.
Correct.
So,
Agree.
yeah. And then
No, go ahead, Christina, finish your thought.
Sure. And then with regards to offline, one of the things that we had discussed and what we do with our own, we've actually done it with Ferdinand. So I have to share the video, is that we had done a collaborative video with Saint C in one of our products that we also represent, which is Papo J's Lambonog. So so those are the things that we also do, are just those organic type of events or collaborations where the products actually fit, and we don't, they fit in an organic way. And we also work with organizations in making sure that they know the product in the specific market that they want to enter. So, and if you have any questions or any comments on what I said.
Well, the amazing thing is that I want to go ahead and remind the audience that even though these suggestions are amazing, if any, we want the people that are watching right now to just give us some feedback on what they think of Alan's products, because at the end of the day, the experts are amazing at what they do. But it's also nice if you can have the audience kind of participate and just tell us a little bit about where it should be sold, what they think of it, that kind of thing. So with that being said, Christina, thank you so much for that feedback. Please stick around, because the reality is that you know about the product already, how amazing it is, and he's probably gonna, Alan's gonna need more feedback also on that. Now, I would like to go ahead and bring up the legal expert, okay, Attorney Udell, because, again, your role, Attorney Udell, is that you're there to try to kind of give them a vision, a sort of a roadmap, and how they want to go ahead, and once they start the business going, I've always asked you to sort of give them a feedback on what they should look forward to if they decide they want to commit to this market and do business here in the U.S. Udell? Oh, there you are.
Hi, hi, Alan. And
Hi,
thank you,
hi,
Ferdinand.
Attorney.
Magandang umaga and good evening from here. And thank you very much for that, Ferdinand. As always, that's got a lot of wisdom there. And I heard from you, Alan, earlier that you're actually trying to skip the Philippines as your market and going straight to the US. So that's is that what I heard earlier? That
Well, actually, we're actually gaining a lot of traction as well in the Philippines. It's just that Calamansi here is pretty much everywhere. Although surprisingly and not surprisingly, we've been getting a lot of tractions also in the Philippines. But the plan really is to go global. So I might as well jump the gun already and start over there in the US.
Which is amazing. I think your market is just ahead of your foundation, right? So your legal foundation. So I encourage you. I'm very very curious and interested in trying your product.
Oh, good.
It's amazing. I've watched the YouTube. I've looked at your I've look at the pictures and look at all these things that Ferdinand has shared with me, and it's really amazing. US is really a very good very good place to do business. Freedom to compete here gives everyone, even foreigners, the greatest opportunities of success because I believe that our market is one of the most dynamic in the and it's largest, right? And here, the condiments in itself is like it's going to almost $38 billion by 2023, and you have a large population demographics of the Filipino as a starting point, correct? So, but it's really encouraging, and a lot of people are saying also the tax system here is very burdensome, but actually it's really less burdensome because you're going to consider from as compared to other countries with VAT and income tax and real estate taxes combined. Here, the great thing is planning is the key. Business planning is the key. Being clear with what kind of legal foundation that you need. It's actually the basis for everything, even for your trademark, for anything else, for striking negotiation contracts, getting lenders to lend you money, entering into a contractual relationship, having that legal foundation, business entity is the foundation. So here's the thing. My suggestion is it depends on how you want to enter the market in the US at the first base, right? Do you want to just start like in a contractual relationship with being joint venture or like partnership? Or getting in here and really setting up a business where you can even leverage the retail business, right? So here is, try to find that right entity formation is one of the things that you need to consider. And as you know, you might not know, incorporation here is creation, it's actually creatures of states. That means it's not based on federal laws, it's based on the laws of the states. So it's important that also as part of the clarity is in discernment in getting in here is which state are you thinking of like setting up your business at the beginning, right? So it's really requires a lot of planning, and from your end it's really being clear with your objectives, and from there, right, you can start small, it doesn't matter. And the good thing about the US is there's no much restriction of like about foreigners getting into business. You have a myriad of like options and how to do that from small to big. You don't have to start big, but just having that legal foundation, insurance and financial and tax. Strategic planning is the key. From your end, it's clarity. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
That,
Thank
that
you.
was
Thank you,
that was
attorney.
Ellen. Ellen, the beauty of it is what you just said, what everybody else has said. Aren't you glad that you didn't have to technically take notes and you can just do a rewind of some sort with YouTube,
Yeah.
Ellen? So that was a lot, my
Thank
friend. So
you.
what did you think about all that? Alan,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, attorney Yodel. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Is there something, the thing that I wanted to come across here too is that I always like to give a market value of the industry or the people that we're in, because it's so staggering. It impresses me that we have entrepreneurs here trying to get into that sort of industry. So I just wanted to quote something. It's from a market research company. It's called the Grand View Research. I'm going to go ahead and give them a plug. I read that the global sauces, dressings, and condiment market size was estimated at the US dollar $136.24 billion, and that was in 2019, and is expected to reach US dollars again of 142.50 billion in 2020. So we're in 2021. Everybody's wanting to eat or try something different. So Alan, the market is ripe for whatever, for everything that you want to introduce. You just obviously have to have quality, and you have to have a good plan. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm just trying to empower the manufacturers. But please, is there any parting words that you want to go ahead and give the audience?
Yeah. Hopefully they get to try my calamansi over there one of these days.
Well, right now it's sort of warm in Southern California. I would love to try that right now, because it's good, and I love it. So that's why I'm just glad, and we can talk later on and see how we can continue to help you. And with that being said, when we come back from the break, we'll recap the show and announce the guest for our next show.
Hi, my name is Ron, and this is Theo from the Coffee Company. Where we drink coffee black.
I loved our show today. I mean, it was spirited, and it was full of people that just wanted to be and give great feedback, as well as some great products like Steve Waddell's Nasoni and also the Calamansi. Right now, I just feel like drinking something like that right now because of the fact that it's somewhat warm in Southern California. Now, all of you know why we call this episode Water and Calamansi. We want to thank Steve Waddell of Nasoni Faucets and Alan Toison of the brand St. C for presenting their amazing products. I'd like to bring up my partner in crime, so to speak, Butz Bartolome, and so I can get some of his feedback. Butz, how are you again?
I'm overloaded with the faucet and vitamin C, Calamansi. But if I may suggest my 2 cents worth to Alan, you can do a tsunami strategy, which we did. We did for a client here in Manila, and we brought them to the US with one store in Pasadena. And from that Pasadena on, we brought it back to the Philippines with a taste of USA. And that company right now is a global company with 1,200 branches worldwide. And I'm referring to Potato Corner. Alan, you got something in your hands right now. Be careful of that. Don't lose your calamansi. I don't want to call it calamansi balls because people might laugh at me, but go and grow.
Bruce, I love that. Now, any of I'll move forward. If any of our audience are interested in these products, please reach out to us at info@planet63.com. And what we plan to do is when you do that, we'll set you up on a Zoom call to go ahead and meet with these companies, because our goal really is to just bring attention to these products, whether you're in the Philippines or you're in the US. And again, reiterating the fact that it's all about exposure. It's all about trying to make it easier for people to connect with each other. And again, just so that you're reminded, everyone who's watching right now, you're watching Planet 63's From Local to Global. And the purpose of the show is to bring attention to Philippine products for the US market and US products for the Philippine market. Now, was there anything else that you wanted to add on to that, Boots? Anything that stood out with you besides Alan? How about Steve? You want to go ahead and,
the one
say
of
something
Steve,
about Steve?
You know, the one of Steve is something that he will disrupt the market here, especially for condominium builders. I tell you, once the condominium dwellers and builders hear of this, they'll really change. Just like Christina. I mean, I guess Christina would want to get hold of that faucet and probably bring it back to where she bought the old faucet. You know?
Maybe. Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
I mean,
get an exchange for it, Christina. Go get Steve's Nazzoni faucet.
yeah. I mean, I think that is definitely, I agree with you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on and tell everyone that for our next show, we will have a US-based company again that manufactures skincare products. They are based in New York City this time instead of Virginia. That's where we have Steve. And the name of the company is Teal Botanicals. Also, we will have a Philippine-based company that specializes in providing a sort of a niche shipping service that could prove to be invaluable service to Philippine manufacturers who want to expand their market to the U.S. Now, again, I repeat, thank you so much for the support that you're giving the show. Again, the name of the show is Planet 63 From Local to Global. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and connect with us on Facebook page under Planet 63 so that you can be notified when the next live stream show will be on. And also, by the way, if you are a U.S. or Philippine manufacturer or brand owner and you want to be a guest presenter on the show, please feel free to reach out to us also at info@planet63.com. And with that being said, Boots, briefly, any parting comments, any tidbit that you want to share our audience until the next time?
Let me acknowledge Everlyn Gicana. She's watching as well. She's a dynamic entrepreneur. She said, great insights from the panels and great products. Wow, amazing. So we're getting traction here. So again, my insight is this: don't lose your hope. Keep that focus on your product. Don't scatter yourself. Just singular focus and you'll hit that goal. That's bullseye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Boots. I appreciate you being here. And I just want to thank all of the panel experts, guest presenters, Boots, and the producer of the show, JR of JR Media, as well as supporters like Phil Exports, Diana and Iya, DTI, especially Alec Elnar and Weng Sambulay, the Los Angeles office, Peza, Aline Gopal, and Cal State University San Bernardino Central for Global Management, Vipin, Frank, and Jamie. And with that being said, again, thank you so much for your feedback, your support. Now, thank you for watching. Now, let's go global.